So, I don't know, should it be inside or outside of the circle? I think outside. So embodied confidence. How many of us hold ourselves back from actually living our lives, making ourselves wrong, as we've been talking about, right? With all of the things that we don't do right and so forth and so on. And what if our biggest challenges, the things that are wrong, are really our biggest gifts? Has anybody explored that for themselves? A little bit? Yeah. I know for me that's true. I was always told I was too big and too much, and I scared the shit out of everybody. And so I got to this really interesting place of like, so that I didn't scare the shit out of everybody and look like I walked into a room and I was trying to take over, when that actually made me look like I was walking into a room and trying to take over, because I was, whenever I just started like, Sabrina's actually like watched it, yeah. And it made me much more approachable, because it's like, yeah, I just fucking take over, it is what it is. And that was my biggest challenge, but it's also my biggest gift, because all of this started showing up for me too. And yeah, my story, when, yeah, it feels like I'm supposed to step back in now. When I was 9 3/4, I've actually started calling it, because it feels significant to me. My mother died of breast cancer. And in 1978, 1979, you didn't live from breast cancer. They didn't know what to do with it, and she evidently had some strain of it. I have pictures of my mom, by the way. Yeah. And then my father started dating this woman who was very emotionally shut down and just really screwed up, and 13 years younger than him. And my dad was a dry drunk because of my mom, and he started drinking again, and he completely checked out. He started dating her 6 months after my mom died. We're shuffling around from family to family and housekeeper to housekeeper, and my mom's just gone all of a sudden, and this woman's there, and then he marries her 11 months later, and and I'm fucking just, I'm 10, and my brother had turned 5 5 days before she died. Right? And here's my dad. He's 39 years old. He has his own business. It's dying because he stayed with my mother for 6 months in the hospital. She died like 6 months to the day she went in the hospital. And he loses the love of his life. He has 2 kids. What the hell do you do? What do? You got 2 kids. You got a business that's dying. So, he checked out too. And it sucked. It was hard, And I didn't understand. I just kept, I loved my dad. I mean, I was a big daddy's girl. And hard to believe, right? And and after, I started caretaking him, and I gained a lot of weight. I got really heavy. And I was the little girl that didn't fit in, and and I was loud, and big, and And then then all these kids at school started inviting me. I wrote this on one of Teresa's posts this week. All these kids started inviting me to parties, and I found out later it was because all the teachers told them to be nice to me because my mom had died. So here I thought I had friends, but I didn't really, And then I got put on my first diet when I was like 12. So I learned really, really early how to control that piece. And then I started working out at 15. And, started watching my diet and, whatever, and got thin and whatever. And then I started teaching aerobics at 16. And that just became my path. And then I discovered I could eat really bad food and just get rid of it. Easiest diet in the world. But all through, and I battled with all of that for all of my younger life, and all through it, movement was the piece that always went through all of it. Movement, moving my body, being in my body. And Melody was talking last night, Earth Mama, in your body, that's me. It's like I'm just in my body. Everything in my life, all of it has been learning in my body and in movement. And it's just been the thread that runs through everything. And I've done shamanic work. I've done goddess work. I've done avatar. I've done lots of Nia. I teach Pilates. I'm a personal trainer. It's all of it. All of the spiritual, mental, and emotional work that I've done always comes back to the body. And this is our vehicle right here, right now, in this life. This is how we show up. It's in our body. Everything about us, whether we know it or not, shows up in our body. Accidents, injuries, my hip is tilted, anything. It all has some kind of connection in another realm. In fact, I had a psychic come to me a couple weeks ago, and she argued with me. It was past life stuff, and she was healing it her own, and I'm like, I agree with you, and we need to move your body. You have to move your body. You have to have conscious and connected movement. You have to connect all of it, because this is what we're in this life. This is how we show up in this life. This earth suit, right? Yeah, and then a session after me, she felt better. So I always say that what I do is I just hold space for people and make their bodies move the way that they need to move. I can't explain what I do. It's just what I do. Yeah. So the first step into true healing is awareness and body awareness and really dropping into sensation. So we're going to spend some time really, really dropping into sensation. What do you think when you hear the word sensation? Feeling? Okay. Okay. I'm going back out now. I'm really driven by like circle energy to me. It probably is to you too, right? Circle energy to me. I'm really sensitive to it. So, anybody else? Sensation. What do you think of when you hear the word sensation?
Tingly.
Yumminess. Okay. Tingly. Okay. Diving in. Okay.
Tight, loose, hot, cold.
Sensation. Yeah. Anybody else?
Getting quiet.
Sensational. Okay.
Which is, like outstanding, fun, stuff like that.
So do y'all all equate it to just really dropping into your body? Yeah. Cool. right? So even different than like feeling, it's just like it is, instead of having a name or an emotion or a thought tied to it. It just is, yeah?